Hey y'all, what's going on? I'm here for the Real Housewives of Atlanta season 9 episode 17, I believe. I almost thought I wasn't going to be able to do this video today, because my stomach was fucking with me all day long. But now I'm feeling better, so let's just talk about the episode. So we're day 3, in Hawaii or whatever. Let's start it off with Peter and Cynthia. So, Cynthia, she shows up to Peter's room, to give him room service for his birthday or whatever, bring some breakfast and whatnot. And, she's talking about, how their marriage is coming to an end or whatever. And she's talking about maybe possibly hooking up with him later on down the line. And, he tells her that it kind of feels weird, not being in the same room, on the trip. And she gives him a birthday gift. This child gonna give him a Bible. A blinged out Bible as a birthday gift. It reminded me of that episode. It reminded me of that Tyler Perry play, Medea's Family Reunion, where Cora brought her daughter a Bible for her bachelorette party. And Medea was reprimanding her about that shit. She put her into the corner and told her, till you come up with a better gift, you gonna stand in the corner. So that's how I felt when Cynthia gave him that damn Bible for a birthday gift. But anyway, so he's still kind of trying to figure out what's appropriate to say around her, considering they're going through this divorce and everything. And he asked her, are you dating yet? And she's like, well, no, not yet, but once I'm single, then yeah, I probably would start dating. He's glad to hear that she's not dating yet or whatever. He feels like he kind of failed her as a husband. You know what I'm saying? And she was like, don't feel like this. She was like, ask yourself, was I a good wife and everything? You know what I'm saying? She was like, I feel like I was a better friend than I was a wife. He never wants her to, feel like that and everything. And she's, she basically tells him, it's not you, it's me. Gives him that whole tiff or whatever. And pretty much she's just having mixed emotions about everything. But, she can admit her shortcomings in the marriage as well. And then, it's good for you, Cynthia, because, it takes two in a marriage and everything. So, she admits her shortcomings in the marriage or whatever and things that she probably could have did better. But she says that she don't think she's going to get married again. And, they talking about keeping in touch with each other or whatnot. So, moving on from that, we get a birthday dinner that Todd planned for Peter. And actually, it's going to be, kind of like how they did Justin Bieber and, all those other people, Flavor Flav and all them on Comedy Central, where people that, fuck with them was roasting them on stage or whatever. This is pretty much what they were doing for Peter, roasting him and shit. So, Candy is like, this is a perfect idea since Peter always has an opinion about something. I said, yeah, he do. So, Candy, she's just at the point where she's not really fucking with Phaedra and Portia like that no more, whatever. Everyone shows up. Bob, he shows up. But he doesn't know, they don't know at first that Sheree is going to come because, him and Sheree, he tells the group that him and Sheree had a moment of, flashing back to the hatred they had for one another. And they're like, oh no, like, I hope she comes, da, 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 whatever. So, Peter, he shows up and everything, and he's like, where's Sheree at? And Bob said something stupid about her, something about being in a volcano or some shit like that. I don't know, I forgot. But anyways, she ends up showing up and everything. They ask her how she's feeling, and she talks about her book and blase, and she kind of consents that they want to talk about the whole situation that happened with Bob. So she tells him, I don't really feel comfortable having this conversation with the men present, and she says in her confessional, this day is not about me, it's about Peter and his birthday or whatever. I was like, something finally not about Sheree, self-centered Sheree. But I understand though, I wouldn't want to talk about a situation like that in front of a whole bunch of dudes either. No, I'm gonna wait till we get to that, because it was something that I wanted to say last week in regards to Sheree and Bob's situation, but I'm gonna wait till we get to that. when they have their little conversation later on. So anyways, you know, Phaedra, she's like, I can't wait to roast Uncle Ben. And, you know, Todd and Candy, they go first, telling their little jokes or whatever, you know, saying how they thought they wasn't going to be able to see him because he's so dark. And, you know, Todd was like, damn, you know, when I first saw Peter and Cynthia, I was like, damn, how he pulled her. But honestly, Peter is not, he really is not a bad looking guy. It's just the shit that he do sometimes that just make you look at him like. So anyways, you know, Portia, she asks, you know, Peter something like, you know, are you going to hit Cynthia tonight? You know, like you want, you know, do the do with her tonight or whatever. And Peter responds, if you don't get there first. And they like, oh, okay, like, okay, Peter. And Cynthia, she like, usually the person that's getting roasted don't have like a comeback or, you know, be the one throwing shots or whatever back. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, they're all shocked, like, oh, okay, Peter, you know what I'm saying? Kenya, she talks about Peter, you know, taking out loans from Cynthia, and, you know, Phaedra talks about how he's always so clean, that's why she ready to bury him, or some shit like that, you know, her doing the whole funeral service thing or whatever, funeral home. And, you know, Peter, he's surprised that, you know, Phaedra and Portia didn't throw, you know, more shots at him. He was expecting them to throw shots about, you know, money issues and him so-called fucking around with 18-year-olds. But, you know, they kept it clean, and I, you know, was glad about that, you know, they kept it cool and everything. So Cynthia, she gets up attempting to roast him, but she can't find it in her little old heart to do it. And, you know, she's sitting up here, I guess, going on this, you know, trying to go on this little, you know, rant or whatever. Well, not rant, but I guess you could say like a tangent or whatever about her and Peter's relationship and everything. And they like, boo, where's the jokes? And, you know, she was like, he brushes his teeth like no other. And they all sitting up there like, what the fuck is this bitch talking about right now? Like, they was like, Cynthia, baby, you look pretty up there, but maybe this is not for you. This is not for you, okay? So, you know, Bob, he goes up there and says what he has to say. Sure, they want Sheree to go up there, but Sheree, she's just not really in the mood. She's still kind of, you know, in her bag about shit with her and Bob. So, you know, Peter, he's grateful for them. He realizes that, you know, this will probably be his last trip with this, you know, group as a whole and everything. So he's grateful. So we get to day 4. You know, Kenya, she wants to throw a divorce party for Cynthia and Phaedra, calling Phaedra her NBF to like the little guy that was at the venue that she was talking to. And he was like, what's an NBF? And she was like, oh, my new best friend and everything. And I was just like, Kenya, girl, little do you know. Okay, so anyways, you know, she wants it to be a little lighthearted thing, you know, and so next thing you know, they all get on like this yacht or boat, whatever you want to call it. Sheree and Bob, they're inside the boat or whatever, having a conversation while the rest of them are like on top of the boat or whatever. So they're having like a private conversation. He wants to apologize, you know, about what happened the day before. He was like, I mean, you know, I wasn't going to get on my knees to propose to you because I know that's not where we're at, but why did you leave me sitting there? Really, Bob? You don't know why the fuck she left your big hefty bag ass sitting there? And she like saying the same. Well, she didn't call him no hefty bag like I'm calling him, but she like, you really don't know why I left you sitting there, like, you know. And he was like, well, I know you said that you feel like I don't take you serious. And she says that's exactly what it is. And she was like that they never had like an in-depth conversation. I don't even know why they're still having this conversation, to be quite frank with you. Y'all just need to stick to being friends or whatever. Not even try to. Y'all need to stick to being friends and not trying to even attempt to, you know, do whatever y'all was trying to do, because it's not gonna fucking work. So anyways, you know, like I said, she was saying they never had an in-depth conversation, and, you know, the fact that he laughed and doesn't see faults in his, you know, issues is a problem. And she brings up the fact that he left out of nowhere for 6 months, you know, when they were still married and everything. And, you know, then she brings up him making the joke about, him wanting to slam on brakes and ejecting her from the car. And she was like, that's mental abuse, you know what I'm saying? And he's always making jokes, and she felt like he was doing things out of spite, you know what I'm saying? He'll go, like I said, he was gone for 6 months, didn't even he just one day decided to leave, and her and the kids didn't hear from him until he came back. And he's sitting up here saying that he'll take the blame for everything that he did, but she don't buy it. She's not buying it, you know what I'm saying? And then he's sitting up here he was sitting up here trying to figure out what can he do to make things right. And she was like, if you don't know as a grown-ass man, then I don't know what to tell you. And then that's when he started getting bucked up in his motherfucking chest, talking about well, I mean, what the hell are we doing here? You know what I'm saying? And everybody there, like I said, they're on top or whatever, so they hear Bob yelling this shit, and they all look back at the same time, like, yo, what the fuck going on with them? You know what I'm saying? They was like, oh Lord, here we go with the bullshit, and he's like, you want me to slit my wrist to have some remorse or whatever, this, that, and the third. And she was like, I just want you to own up to your shit, you know what I'm saying? And he claiming, that he's hurt every day, and she tears up and starts crying about him leaving her with the kids or whatever, and her building a house for her and her kids and everything. I'm like, girl, I mean, your kid's grown at this point, dog. Like, Sheree, your kids, you know what I'm saying? Your kid's grown at this point. So, but she's saying, how she had to do something for her and everything, and pretty much she realizes it's over for them at this point. Girl, you should have been realized that when that shit first popped off. But anyway, so Bob tells her, let's attempt to have fun for the rest of the crew and everything. Kenya, she announces that she has a surprise for the ladies later on. And the guy, everybody, they're still poking fun at Cynthia and Peter, because Cynthia and Peter is getting along so well and everything. And they was like, oh, give each other a kiss or whatever, and they give each other a little peck on the lips or whatever. I said, let me find out y'all trying to do some Greg and Nene Leakes type of shit, and y'all gonna end up getting remarried after it. Okay, but I like this between them. I like the fact that they're getting along, you know what I'm saying? And I think they do work better as friends versus them, being married, you know what I mean? But anyway, so it's the last night of the trip, Kenya is doing her little, divorce party thing. Candy is the first one to walk in, and she walking in like, what the fuck is going on here? You know what I'm saying? And but she's with it though. She's cool with it and everything. Sheree comes and talks about how she had a divorce party for herself, but she was ready for it though. She says, technically neither one of these ladies are divorced yet, so it's still kind of premature for them. You know what I mean? Cynthia, she shows up confused. She not really feeling it. She was like, I don't want a divorce party. It's not like I'm out here like, ooh, hey, I'm about to get a divorce or whatever. But she knows that Kenya has good intentions. Oh, I forgot what I was going to say. Just that quick, I forgot. Before we get into this shit, back to Sheree and Bob real quick. What I wanted to say last week is that I feel like Bob wouldn't have said that shit had the guys been around. Had like Todd and Peter been around, I don't feel like he would have said that shit in front of them. But because he was around a whole bunch of females, he felt, comfortable to, like, to say that dumb shit. But anyways, back to the divorce party. So I just wanted to, say that real quick. So anyways, Cynthia knows that Kenya had good intentions. And I believe Kenya had good intentions too. And y'all know how I be feeling about Kenya sometimes, but I honestly believe she had good intentions. But we'll get to that. So, the fellas, they're hanging out or whatever. They're talking about, the women and whatever. So they try to give, Cynthia a sash that says, bride to be. And bride to be she takes off the sash and she was like, you know, I'm not wifey material. I'm not going to ever get married again. And blase, blase. Phaedra and Portia, they show up. Phaedra claiming out of nowhere that she feels sick and all this other bullshit and everything. And Kenya was like, oh, you alright? Da da da, whatever, whatever. So, you know, she tries to put the sash on Phaedra, and Phaedra was like, no, that's you know, that's alright, child. You know how Phaedra do. So anyways, you know, Kenya, she wants to play kiss the penis game or whatever. So all of a sudden, Phaedra just acting like a sourpuss, you know, talking about them playing kissing the penis games and mocking the sacrament of marriage, and she don't want to have no parts of it. And I'm just like, Phaedra, all this clicking and clacking bullshit you be doing with Portia all the motherfucking time, and that yes, honey child, like bosom buddies and all this other bullshit. I guarantee you, had that party not been named divorce party and been named something else, you would have been right in there with the rest of them. So don't fucking play and try to act like you all holy and sanctified all of a sudden. Now granted, I understand how Phaedra feels or whatever. I get, you know, the divorce was just finalized or whatever, even though they don't know this or whatever, because earlier in the episode she was playing tennis with Kenya, and she saying in her confessional how she's taking what Portia said to heed, and she ain't telling none of them about her finalizing her divorce and everything. Which, I mean, I understand that, because the only one you really do like hang with like that is Portia. You know what I mean? So I get that. But anyway, so I know I'm all over the place with this shit right now, because she really like pissed me off a little bit. You know what I mean? But anyway, so she leaves claiming that, you know, she going to find some ginger ale or whatever. And then why are you sitting up here talking about all this marriage bullshit and whatnot? It's like Apollo was stealing from old people. Was that sacrament meant to then, or however you say the word, child? He was stealing from old people. He was cheating on you, flirting with other females or whatever what he was doing. Why you sitting up here talking about Kenya and, you know what I'm saying? So anyways, Portia, she stays for a little bit or whatever, and Kenya's asking, do you feel like, you know, Phaedra was uncomfortable or whatever? And, you know, Portia's like, well, no, you know, she really was sick. And then next thing you know, she gets a text from Phaedra, and Portia was like, oh, y'all right, you know, she was upset and everything. She reads the text message, and pretty much Phaedra was appalled that they would think the breakup of a family would cause for celebration, and for the trifling host that was texting my husband, I am disgusted and it's disgraceful. Like, didn't we already find out that Apollo lied about Kenya, you know, sending him inappropriate text messages and everything? Now granted, yes, Kenya was doing she was doing the most, because even though, yes, she wasn't texting Apollo anything inappropriately, she still was being appropriate and doing like way too much when she was around him. You know what I'm saying? Right in front of Phaedra's face. But don't sit up here, Phaedra, and don't sit up here and say that, oh, she was like, you know, the cause of y'all marriage, when Apollo was the cause of y'all marriage. Or don't sit up here and act like or imply that it was just Kenya. No, it was Apollo. At the end of the day, he was your husband. You were married to him. You know what I'm saying? So he's the cause of this shit. He did what the fuck he did, and that's why his ass is up in jail and away from y'all kids. Anyway, so I'm sorry, I'm trying to get back on track here. So, you know, Kenya, she's just so shocked and everything, and Cynthia's like, I mean, why would she bring up the whole text message situation? Where did that come from? You know what I mean? And Kenya's saying the same thing I'm saying, you know, like, you know, you're sitting up here trying to blame me for your marriage or whatever. Portia goes to check up on Phaedra and everything, and, you know, Phaedra is like, you know, do they not realize the Institute of Marriage? Did Apollo not realize the Institute of Marriage? And it's like, I don't like that about Phaedra. I don't like that shit with her. I don't like it when she act like things is all cool and everything, but the minute you do something that she don't fucking like, instead of coming to you like a woman and saying, girl, I won't really feeling that shit, whatever, she'll find any opportunity to sit up here and throw daggers at you or whatever and bring some old shit the fuck back up. That's part of the reason why her and Candy is not friends at this point, because she was sitting up here acting like shit was all cool with them when they had a conversation, but then was running to Nene and Portia like it was otherwise. And some people might be upset with me, but I don't know. Like I said, I feel like Kenya's intentions were not bad. Like, yeah, maybe she shouldn't have did that so soon. You know, I feel like this. Because Cynthia is really like her close friend, I think maybe if anything, she probably should have at least kept Cynthia in mind and maybe thought, you know, maybe this is not a good idea to, you know, say divorce party or whatever, blah blah blah, because I know for a fact that Cynthia is still going through her shit because I'm closer with Cynthia, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, like I said, Cynthia, she took the shit in stride. She told her that, like, you know, I don't want to celebrate this, like, you know, I don't want to call it a divorce party and everything. Like, she let her know, but Cynthia didn't have like a fucking stick up her motherfucking ass like Phaedra do with her donkey ass booty. So anyways, you know, Kenya, she shows up or whatever, and Phaedra, that's when she admits, you know, Portia, she left the room so they could talk alone. So, you know, Phaedra admits that, you know, she was appalled and felt like it was tacky and she don't want to celebrate her kids losing their father. Kenya says, I know that, you know, this is a very hard time in a woman's life, but you two all decided to split and everything. And, you know, this was for Cynthia as well and everything, this, that, and the third. And, you know, Kenya thought that Phaedra was in a good place and everything. And, you know, she's sitting up here, Phaedra talking about some, you know, Kenya played a very big part in her and Apollo and all this other bullshit. And, you know, Kenya, she interrupts Phaedra. She was like, I'm going to have to stop you right there. And brings up the text message that, you know, Portia read out loud to them. And she was like, those text messages happened over 2 years ago. And Phaedra was like, it don't matter because, you know, Kenya continuously flirted with Apollo, which I already said that, you know, Kenya was, you know, continuously flirting with Apollo, regardless of the fact that, yeah, the text messages she was sending was not inappropriate or whatever. Apollo admitted that he lied about that shit and everything, this, that, and the third. But like I said, once again, in case y'all ain't hear me the first fucking time, you know, Kenya was being inappropriate in Phaedra's face. You know what I'm saying? She was doing too much. You know what I mean? So Kenya is like, you know, so you're blaming me for your marriage, da da da, and all this other stuff. And, you know, Kenya is like, I feel like you're not being real and everything. And Phaedra is like, you being disrespectful to my marriage. And they just going back and forth, whatever. And, you know, Kenya, like, you sit up here on your high horse and everything and saying how you want to have this restoration or whatever and how we're going to forgive each other. And Phaedra like, that don't mean you got to forget. Yeah, you don't forget, Phaedra, but, I mean, either you going to be cool with her or you not. It's just bottom line. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, but Kenya is like, you talking about all this forgiveness and stuff, but you're doing the, you know, complete opposite and everything. So pretty much, you know, Phaedra, she over it. She dismisses Kenya from her room and everything. Kenya returns or whatever. Portia, she ends up going back to their back to the room or whatever too. But even though she told Phaedra that she was gonna go back to her room, but she ended up back in the room with the girls and everything. But anyways, you know, Kenya says that it didn't go well and everything, this, that, and the third, and, you know, brings up how the divorce, I think Portia explained that, you know, this just happened a week ago, and Candy was like, well, Apollo never said anything about, you know, the divorce being finalized or whatever, this, that, and the third, nor did she, you know, say anything to us or whatever. So the guys, they show up and they like, what the fuck, a divorce party? Like, what the fuck is going on here and everything? So I guess that's pretty much it with Thelma and Louise, y'all. I guess that little, you know, them getting along is over with. So anyways, that pretty much was it, y'all. I'm sorry that this, you know, review was kind of long, but I did kind of go on a tangent a little bit with that situation because that shit really pissed me off. Like, I'm really mad that they about to have these two not get along again. Why? Bravo. But anyways, you guys make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you guys come back, follow me on social media, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.